Vigo County commissioners are hosting a meeting tonight regarding the ongoing jail saga in Vigo County. The jail study review is taking place right now at the AMVETS in Terre Haute. The jail and plans to build a new one have been in the news a lot. Officials appeared before a federal judge on Tuesday to give an update on their progress. It all stems from a lawsuit by the ACLU regarding overcrowding. We know that the number of people incarcerated in Vigo County presents a problem as far as space goes. That's why jail officials have had to move inmates to various counties as they await their court appearance. But what kinds of crimes are keeping Vigo County inmates behind bars? Sadie All explores in her special report. Sadie?
Tom, there's a fine line for those in the judicial system when choosing options for Vigo County criminals. How severe was the crime they committed? Are they a threat to the public? How likely is it that they'll appear in court? All of these top questions for local judges. This is an issue that keeps jail staff frustrated and court officials on their toes.
I always try to look at that in each case. If the jail was not overcrowded, would I keep this person?
Vigo County Judge Michael Rader deals mostly with lower-level crimes like drinking and driving or drug cases. However, he says often Vigo County judges may lean a bit on the lenient side when it comes to how long they order someone to stay behind bars. Threats to the public will always be incarcerated, but that's not the majority of inmates at the jail. It's actually those who've demonstrated that they won't show up to court.
Because if they don't, we have to issue a warrant. We incur costs by having law enforcement go search for them, place them under arrest, bring them back to the jail. It's a waste of a resource to do that.
Vigo County Sheriff Greg Ewing agrees. Resources are limited.
You hear the chatter from the cell blocks. You know, I'm glad I wasn't arrested in Clay County, or I'm glad I wasn't arrested in Sullivan County or whatever. And I don't know much about the other counties or whatever, but it seems that, you know, people think that in Vigo County you tend to get more chances.
That's a part of his frustration.
Well, we have those people. Been in here 20, 30, 40 times.
18, 16, 17.
This is the Vigo County Jail's filing system. Those who've been in the jail since 2015 are filed here, where they'll stay on file until 2020. One-time offenders will be dead filed. Some will continue to build a track record of their stay here. Sheriff Ewing says it's a bitter cycle. Regardless of how small the crime is that sent them here initially, what they do and who they're around once they're out is typically what sends them back again and again.
You can pull a lot of cases and go back and look at their history, and it starts out small until it gets to that point where they're threatening somebody with a gun. You know, so what's the next step? If they're willing to go in and rob a place at gunpoint, is it a far thought to think that the next step is to pull the trigger?
While the daily operations at the courthouse vary from the daily operations at the jail, one thing officials from within both buildings know is a constant. That's that the root of the problem won't be solved from behind either of these walls. Addiction is at the root. Early in his career at the jail, Ewing conducted a survey with his inmates.
My simple question was, are your charges related to an addiction to an illegal substance or alcohol? Well, when we got those back and tallied them up, it was like 80%. So that's why I'm saying you can look at why somebody's here, but where's the root of why somebody is here?
It's a problem that thrives out on the streets and grows into bigger concerns. It finds its way into both facilities. It's the purpose for the drug court Judge Rader oversees.
Put them in a program where they're intensively monitored, held them accountable, so that they're not committing additional crimes, not back in our jail, not headed to our prisons. And across the board, these problem-solving courts are supported by every party.
And with construction for a bigger jail on its way, Sheriff Ewing says this will allow for programming within the jail that deals with addiction and mental health. Groups of like-minded inmates will work together to pave a pathway to a brighter future. According to Sheriff Ewing, drug offenders only make up for 30 to 35% of the population at the jail. Judge Rader says often if a person has demonstrated they can be trusted, and home detention and work release are also commonly used at a much lower cost to the community.
Seems like a reasonable alternative. The drug court also is planning to expand the number of participants thanks to a particular grant to help pay for it, right?
Yes, that's right, they are. They'll nearly double the program, and that's thanks to a grant. They started receiving funds from a $1 million grant back in September. Judge Rader says no programs are 100%,
right,
of course, when it comes to rehabilitation, but the incorporation of mental health plays a big factor in success.
And all those things have to come together in this tough decision on the new jail.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, Sadie, very good report. Thank you.
Thank you.